I'm Cos. Well, my full name is Cost of Love, but I prefer Cos, like cosine. I'm a computer engineer, and I'm a freshman. And this is my first hackathon.
My name is Curtis. I'm a freshman. I'm an electrical engineer, and this is also my first hackathon.
I'm Eden Lucas. I'm a freshman nano engineer. Likewise, it is my first hackathon.
And together we form Team Lynx. So let me kick off with a quick question. How many of you have ever lost your keys or forgotten them somewhere or just not been able to get into your house ever? Show of hands? It happens, right? Such a pain though. Such a pain. So what we did was design something that would prevent that from being a pain.
Okay, imagine your door being somewhere here. Okay, and you have your phone in your hand, right? And it's your phone. And all it does to unlock the door is that. Okay, and while it does that, it maintains a database. It snapshots your, it takes a snapshot with a camera. It's equipped with OpenCV, so it can have face recognition, object recognition. It also takes the IP of the device that unlocks it, so all the IP addresses are stored. All of this goes to an SQL database, so anytime you want to look for data or anything, it's very simple. And it saves the timestamp. And any sort of data collection is very simple. So all of this is interfaced. We had a lot of trouble interfacing the Qualcomm board with the Arduino because we couldn't figure out this real interrupt. But all of this is interfaced in such a way that we can easily add on a lot of modules. So that's running a Django server, which is more or less industry quality. The reason we chose that was because one thing about smart homes is they're not very secure, right? Bluetooth is not at all secure, and the more you connect to the internet, the less secure you start getting. So this can just have a local network that all your devices connect to, and it creates a very secure smart home. And I feel like that's very important because homes are getting smarter, and it does, especially when things like cameras are attached to places, if you get hacked, it's not going to end up well.
One of the major selling points of our particular design was, one of our major design messages was people should not have to turn their doors inside out just to make them smart. So what we've implemented was a device that can easily be attached onto existing like doorknob or door deadbolt that's also easily installed by most users and also easily removable for those who cannot modify their door because they live in an apartment or a dorm. And the beauty of our design is that not only are we able to interface different modules so that you can detect if your door is open, if you forgot to close it, or you can detect burglars, or etc. But also, our module is designed to be adapted to virtually every single doorknob that there is via different actuation designs.
And one of the biggest selling points that I feel is it's very future forward. It runs a Django server which runs in Python. It runs in Python 3 now, which has two very important libraries, OpenCV and spaCy or NOPTK, whichever one you prefer. So you have natural language processing, you have object recognition, and together these two things allow you to expand a lot more. We only had 24 hours and we had to spend a lot of time trying to interface, so we can actually build more modules on, but there are so many more applications. For example, well, I'm from India, so we get a lot of pests, and I feel like that's a problem in California too. So this can, OpenCV can be trained to recognize pests, and you could put sound sensors or just deterrents to keep these pests away from trash cans, because raccoons and all those things. So there are a lot of other functionality that can be built on top of this without much difficulty.
One of the functionalities that we were thinking about for future use is a backup security system. So that way, if someone tries to break the lock by forcing the door, it would emit an alarm and preferably also send a text to your phone so that you would know, oh, your house, someone just tried to break into it.
Yeah, and we couldn't fully implement it, but this is kind of like a sensor that will. And we have made it such a, Curtis was talking about it being non-invasive, so we have potentiometers and stuff, so they can adjust what speed the lock moves at or how far it goes and such forth.
I know this looks like hastily put together, but this is just a demo lock to demonstrate that we can actually implement this design. Different modules is part of our kind of what we can do to make it go further and more expand upon our idea. But for now, this is just a working concept to show our design is fully able to work.
And also to focus on the side of those those who aren't coming from these engineering backgrounds, personally, when I came in here today, I thought Arduino was just a kind of artichoke or something. I had no idea what it was. Still kind of figuring it out. But for me, something like this could be so useful in making sure my grandparents are getting home on time. You know, if I was a mom, okay, I have a kid, it's gonna be really hard to get into that door with groceries in your hand. You're gonna have something to help you out with that. And it's just gonna have a lot of uses. And for me, as a non-techie, I think that that's really important and a really important facet.
And one more thing I would really like to stress is, again, the security features that we were talking about. So she was talking about keeping track, and no, not keeping track, but knowing that, let's say your grandparents reach home, or your children reach home. So I told this can sniff IP addresses, so any phone. So if your daughter lives with you, and she would have a phone that would connect to the Wi-Fi, so you would automatically log all of this data. And it maintains, this is after purging the database multiple times, it maintains a huge log of all the data, and it's easily manageable. So that I feel is one of the biggest selling points.
And then tell me on the the Dragon board, you said you use that as a server, but you have what's the connection there?
That's a serial. And so basically, they didn't have any more Wi-Fi modules for the Arduino.
Okay.
So that's one more thing. You can basically use this one thing, and you can integrate multiple Arduinos with it for different modules very easily because it's running a very fast server.
Okay.
Do it again. You unlock it.
Yes, it's if you give me 2 minutes because Android 7 kind of broke my hotspot.
That's okay.
So
But
His phone has a feature that
It's
we
okay,
have
no worries, man.
if you'd like, yeah. And the thing is that anything that is authorized to connect to that can. So this is also linked. The phone is linked. Basically, it's very easy to link, and it's very easy to authorize.
So it uses facial recognition to unlock the door.
It can. Right now we haven't implemented it because I didn't have time. I had about an hour to implement the camera.
Okay.
So this is as far as I could get. But yes, OpenCV has that functionality. It's easy to use. Combine it with speech recognition with Spacier and LPTK.
Okay, so it's just not using your face; it's using your face with.
Oh no! Right now
combination.
it's just using your phone.
Okay.
You can also use NFC, RFID, anything that's attached to it that you are willing to authorize. All this
Okay.
can be done through an app, which we haven't fully built yet, but we have an interface kind of ready that just shows you the log right now.
Can you speak about the mechanical interface? You said it was retrofittable to any lock?
Well, that's the design that we're going after. So this is just an
Unfortunately,
example.
we did not have like an actual deadbolt to really experiment with, nor did we really have the time to implement our design. So we just created kind of like a sample lock. So this particular lock, we made it like kind of like one of those deadbolts that you like slide back and forth, simple. And what we're trying to show is that we can basically take a motor and connect it to the lock in many different ways depending on what type of lock, and simply control the motor with our device to turn a completely dumb lock into a smart door lock.
Exactly, and it's running you can see all the specifics here. If you ever need to pull some data or something, this is absolutely not required, but if you ever want to see any of the innards of the actual software running on it, it's running the, okay, I think I disconnected, but regardless. And you wanted to see it again, I feel like this should work, but it might not because I disconnected from the Wi-Fi here because it's behaving is different. You just uses the WP Enterprise, and the protected doesn't work very well.
Also on the mechanical aspect, our focus right now was just a proof of concept rather than making something that is adaptable yet, but if we were to expand upon this project, that would be one of our future focuses.
excellent.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.